I get a call from a woman, and the call says something like this: Rabbi Shafier, yeah, I have a problem. What's the problem? It's my husband. Okay, what's the problem? Well, he's a Talmid Chacham. He learns. He's a responsible father. He earns a living. I say, so far it sounds pretty good. What's the problem? Well, the problem is I don't love him. He's a great guy, great father, everything good, but I don't love him. What do I do? Okay. Now, what do you do, in fact, when you get the call? So, because I've been around the block and I've heard that refrain quite a number of times already, I ask the question that I always ask. I say, madam, tell me, last month, how many times did you and your husband go out? But going out doesn't mean to a bar mitzvah, to your mother-in-law, to a social event. How many times did you and your husband go out as a couple, just enjoy each other's company, to be together? The answer is we didn't. And the month before, we didn't. The month before that, we didn't. Month before that, we didn't. Month before that, I say, madam, don't you understand? You're two ships in the night. No kidding, you don't love your husband because you're not connecting, you're not bonding. And if you don't spend time as a couple, if you don't spend time talking and bonding and going out on a regular basis, what's going to happen is you're going to drift apart, and you could share the same life goals and you could have the same interests. But one of the key elements to a successful marriage is the love, and that love has tools. One of the tools is romantic love. Yes, attraction is very important, but romantic love is the going out, the spending time, the connecting, and certainly for a woman, the talking, which probably is more important than for a husband. But that time spent together is critical because that's the romantic love, and that's a very important part, one of the tools that bond. And I have to say this, on a regular basis, I have couples that call me up with problems, troubles, and issues. And I believe many, many times it's not the problem, it's the relationship. Every marriage is going to have stuff. Every marriage is going to have differences, nuances, quirks, idiosyncrasies. And two people, I don't care how alike they are, they're going to be so different, and especially because they're men and women, that invariably there's going to be stuff. If there's a climate of love in the marriage, it's okay. You find a way around. You find a way to make things work. But if that climate of love begins eroding, he's a creep and a loser. He never did anything right. Anything he did it right, he did it for the wrong reason. And in a very short amount of time, you guys will be so distant, so apart, then the bickering, the squabbling, the fighting starts. And even if you're both even-tempered and don't fight, believe me, the acrimony is going to be very, very uncomfortable and very unpleasant. And because I get this all the time, I stand up and I say this radical statement. And I'll say it now again. And I say it's radical because I know that as I say it, people are aghast. They're like, it can't be. Rabbi, you can't be serious. But here we go. Are you ready? I'm going to say that radical statement. And that radical statement is that you and your spouse should be going out at least once a week. No, Rabbi, you can't say once a week, going out once a week. No, you mean once a month, no. Once a week. As a couple, you go out once a week. But the kids, you leave the kids and you go out once a week. You see, as a couple, you're supposed to be having an ongoing love affair. But a love affair requires spending time, nurturing, bonding, connecting. And if you're not going out once a week minimally, guess what? You're not connecting. Now, that's not the totality of it. There's a lot more that we love notes and kind gestures, and there are many tools that bond, including friendship and respect. And if you go to the marriage seminar, or if you read the 10 really dumb mistakes that very smart couples make, you'll see the tools that bond detailed one by one. But that bond of love has to be there. And if the bond of love isn't there, then you guys are going to be toast. Now, again, when I say that radical statement that you should go out once a week, I get pushback like there's no yesterday. Come on, Rabbi, we can't do it. It's impossible. It's impossible. And because I get it so often, I have the answers. So I'll share with you the answers that I give to the pushback. Pushback is, Rabbi, are you kidding? You know how expensive it is, the babysitter and the place to go. It's so much money. What do I answer? You're right. It's very expensive. But tell me, what does it cost for a divorce lawyer and the alimony and the running two households? I guarantee it's a lot cheaper to go out once a week and a whole lot more fun. Yeah, but Rabbi, we don't have time. I mean, we're busy. My husband started a new job and I have a full-time job and we just don't have the time. Okay. If you're running two households and you're a single parent each, how much time do you then have? You'll find that if you go out once a week, it's the best time investment you could possibly make. Yeah, but it's not fair to the kids. The kids, it bothers them when we leave, and Rucky doesn't do her homework, and Maishi doesn't do it. It's not fair to the children. They don't like it. Okay, so I'll make this as clear as I can. The single best investment you can make in your children's welfare is to have a good marriage. You see, to your children, especially when they're littles, you and your husband are the center of gravity. You are the center of their world. And if mommy and daddy are fighting, then it's like the whole world starts to tremble. Does gravity even work anymore? And the walls start falling, meaning the essence, the basics of their life is suddenly coming apart. The single greatest investment you can make in your children's happiness, in their being wholesome individuals, is to give them a happy home. And what that means is your marriage comes first. And if you want a healthy, well-developed family, if you want children who grow up to be solid citizens, number one, your first relationship is your marriage, and that requires time. Time as a couple, time bonding, time spend time together.